Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, we'll be looking at the good, the bad, and the ugly of AI with an international expert. His story just ahead.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
Well, I'm kind of a technology idiot, and I used ChatGPT for the first time maybe 4 months ago, and it freaked me out. It was amazing. It could write a best man's toast just like that. It can do amazing things, but there's the good, there's the bad, and there's the ugly. And to talk about that today, Deepak Seth. He is an international expert on AI. Thanks for coming on the show.
Hey Jeff, thanks for having me on the show. It's indeed a pleasure. We had been going back and forth about being on the show, and finally we made it happen. Thanks for the opportunity. And you mentioned about being on ChatGPT for the first time, and you had a great experience. But some people, as you said, there's an ugly side to it, and some people have not had a good experience. They are worried about what are called as hallucinations. So we'll talk about that as we go along.
Absolutely. Well, let's start with the good. I mean, what do you see as the good of AI?
Oh, the good of AI is tremendous. Means what it has done is it has given human civilization the next gear, so as to say. Because what it does is it frees us to do certain, it helps us put some mundane tasks aside and provides an added impetus to what we already know and helps put it all together as co-pilot, so as to say.
Yeah, and some people think that AI just came along yesterday. We've been using AI for many years. I know when you get a little chat bot and they're asking you questions, it's not a human, right?
Yeah.
And it saves time. That simple questions like where is your bank located? Those are things that a computer can do.
Yeah, means AI or the underlying technology of AI, the concepts of AI have been around for a long year, for a very, very long time. But what has happened now is finally the hardware, the computing power has come to speed and matched what the underlying principles were. And with tools, with the generative AI tools, the large language models, we have finally see it come to fruition in a very, very big way.
Deepak has a very popular newsletter that he puts out. We're going to go ahead and show that up on his LinkedIn page. And as we scroll down his LinkedIn page, talk a little bit about the types of subjects that you like to explore.
Yeah, so what means I have been publishing this newsletter for quite some time now. Just did the 20th edition. It comes out once a week. I pick up whatever is the hottest topic in AI that week, addressing some of the concerns, sharing some of the news, and also sharing my own views and thoughts. So the first edition started about, because there were a lot of articles around the fear of AI. There were some very well-renowned people who were talking about Yuval Noah Harari, the author of the book Sapiens, had published in The Economist about how AI was stealing almost the genetic code of human civilization and can destroy it. And I had an opinion to the contrary, where I feel that AI is just like any other technology. It will help us to get better at what we do, but it's a double-edged sword like any technology is. Somebody rightfully said that means the first shipwreck was invented as soon as the first ship was invented. So like fire, like writing, like anything else, AI has its pluses and its minuses, and we need to figure out the best way, apply the necessary controls and restraints, and then move from there.
And I think there's been several studies that suggest that ChatGPT can lean to the left. There's a little bit of a built-in bias, is there not?
The bias is a big issue with any large language model, because what they have essentially do is they have scraped the available corpus of human information, which could be Wikipedia, which could be Quora, which could be any other, which includes the works of some of the popular writers. So there's a big lawsuit which has been brought by the kinds of R.R. Martin and J.K. Rowling and others, saying their works have been stolen to build the underlying models. So right, whether it's left or it's right, but what it is that it picks up what is already there, and the principle of garbage in, garbage out stays with the large language models also. So those corrections or those regulations will need to be in place to ensure that it brings truthful stuff.
Sure. He's also a very popular podcaster. We're going to go to his Spotify page. And as we scroll down your Spotify page, how long have you been doing this?
A few years now. This started in the pandemic era, I guess. Means I wanted to I had some time available, and I thought, why not some of my thoughts, and which in interviews such as this, which I had shared, why not put them in a podcast too?
Okay, let's talk about the fear of AI replacing jobs. We just finished with the writer's strike, and they kind of held the line on you can't have ChatGPT write a movie script. Are there people out there right now who have to worry about their jobs?
I think the best way it has been described is by a Harvard professor recently described. He said, you don't have to fear AI taking away people's jobs. It will be people who know AI taking away jobs of people who don't know AI, which is same as what happened with computers also. When computers came about, it was true for Excel. When Excel came about and people were worried what's going to happen to the accountants' jobs and stuff like that. Out of destruction comes creation. Schumpeter said that, means it's creative destruction or whatever. So yes, AI will destroy certain things, but AI will help build certain new things.
We've got some video from our library that we're going to show right now. And I want to ask this question because I worry that it's going to make people lazy. Because if you can just have ChatGPT write your homework for you or write that report for the boss, you're not actually exercising, the muscle that is your brain.
Great question, Jeff. But you would be surprised, where that question first came about. It first came about from Socrates. When Socrates saw that writing was coming into being, he said, writing will make people lazy because they won't have, and would make them dumber because people would not have to remember things and do stuff. And so he spoke against writing. And look where we have come from there. Writing has been a key part of human civilization. And then when publishing happened, when the first books came around, it brought about such a revolution. Would the world have been a better place if there would have been no writing? So similarly with artificial intelligence too, means it will, yes, it may affect the brain the same way calculators did when now nobody uses mental math, but a couple of generations ago, everybody knew their multiplication tables and could do mental math. But then the calculators and cash registers came about and everybody forgot their mental math. But has that made us lesser of human beings or less intelligent? I don't think so.
Okay, so if a young person is watching this, somebody in high school, how do they capitalize on this? What kind of studies or courses do they get into to become very lucrative in the market when it comes to AI?
Great question, Jeff. So means there are three kinds of roles which emerge as a result of the AI. The first is what could be called the builders or the trainers, because these are models which need to be trained. So there are a whole slew of jobs of people who would understand the core underlying technology which builds the AI models. So they are the trainers or the builders. The second one are the explainers, the people like what I'm doing right now, which is making AI more understood by people, making people comfortable with it, helping people come up to speed with AI. So they are the explainers. And then the third category would be what are called the sustainers. And the sustainers are the people who will help establish the guardrails around AI, the regulations and controls, ensure that the models stick to what they are supposed to do. So in between these three categories, there are a lot of new roles will emerge, and people will have to be prepared for those kinds of roles. So there would need to be a lot of retraining, and there would be also new skills which people would need to learn.
Okay, we've got about a minute left. Final thoughts. What would you like to leave people with?
So where I would like to leave people with is, hey, AI is not a replacement for human intelligence. It is just a supplement to human intelligence. Humans will always stay in the loop. They need to stay in the loop. Bad AI can do bad things, but good AI will do good things. And it is on us to make sure that the AI we use and the AI we propagate is the best AI that can be. Thanks.
Outstanding. Thank you so much for coming on the show. We're going to end with his LinkedIn page, the great Deepak Seth. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you, Jeff.
You bet. That's it for now. We'll
Thanks.
see you next time.